before we touch on the hurlers, we'll just have a look at the All-Ireland Club semi-finals briefly, because I wanted to get your thoughts on St. Finbarrs obviously having beaten Austin Stacks quite comfortably there a week ago, and obviously coming up to the semi-finals and what will be this week coming by the time this recording is released. But obviously it's a further week away for us at the minute. But like, looking at that performance, first of all, for St. Finbarrs against Austin Stacks, like, that was one hell of a performance. And I suppose you called it right when you said that they'd win the Munster Club Senior Football Championship, and they really did blow Austin Stacks away, like, in that first half. I know Stacks came back in the second half and had a very positive third quarter, but in the end, a huge year for the Bars so far anyways. Like, first Munster Club Senior Football Championship since 1986.
Yeah, absolute superb achievement for the Bars. Lucky enough to be there as well, along with the Bars fans. And the atmosphere up at Sippin Stadium that day was absolutely unbelievable. I actually expected Austin Stacks to outnumber the Bars in regards to fans, but geez, the Bars fans, came up with their numbers. I'm not sure did they for the county final against Clonakilty, but they did for the Munster final. They made up for their lack of support. But I suppose what a win. And I suppose, did Stacks take the Bars lightly? Kind of looked like it in the first few minutes, especially. Like, people were saying Stacks were defensively solid, but after 17 seconds, the Bars had a plan. Kicked the ball straight into Brian Hayes and then passed on to Killian Morrisburg. What a finish. And Austin Stacks, the beauty of it is they didn't get level or they didn't go in front in the entirety of the game. Like, after 17 seconds, they only lasted 17 seconds on par with the Bars, which makes the victory even more deserving. And fair play to the Bars, fair play to, like, Ian Maguire, outstanding. Billy Hennessy, I was hearing from a Bars fan, and honestly know that he's going to be in the Cork team now that he's off the hurling team, and you could definitely see why by his performance. He was absolutely superb from centre back. You look at Brian Hayes, as I've said in this chat already, superb player. And yeah, even the subs coming on, Michael Shields. Like, I was seeing a tweet in 2007, the Bars were actually relegated from the Cork Senior Football Championship. They came back up, and they didn't win the championship for years. They didn't win until 2018, obviously. So it's a long barren spell. And then to get a day like that at the age of 35, for him especially, it's a brilliant achievement. I know he won an All-Ireland in 2010 with Cork, but again, for him, nothing beats playing for your club and nothing beats excelling for your club. It's superb for him, and well done to all the Bars team. And yeah, Stacks had a good third quarter, in fairness to them. Sean Quilter, very good performance from him, and Greg Horde at midfield. But yeah, the Bars utterly deserving. And I did call it, like, a lot of people were saying Stacks would win it. The odds were saying Stacks would win it. But I stuck to my guns. I said the Bars would do it. The Cork Football Championship was much better than the Kerry Championship. And it proved that way. And yeah, well done to the Bars. But it'd be brilliant if they won the All-Ireland. I'm not sure will they know. I think Kilcoo are a different animal. They're a superb side. They're well drilled under Mickey Moran. But I'd be very interested to see how the Bars perform against Kilcoo. And even to put up a good performance would be absolutely superb, because they, as you said, they haven't won a Munster since 1986. It's a long time for the Bars, and hopefully they won't go another 30 years or so without it, because it's a huge club with a huge proud history. So well done to the Bars. Superb achievement. Delighted for them.
Yeah, is it a case now of bonus territory maybe going into that Kilcoo game, or is it a case of, well, these opportunities don't come around too often? Like, as you said there, 1986, last time they won the Munster Club Senior Football Championship, when we know the quality that's in Cork, and there are going to be teams in there that are going to want to regroup and come back stronger next year. And I'm sure teams in Kerry and all around the province of Munster will want to come back stronger next year. So is it bonus territory, or is this maybe like the perfect opportunity in many ways to potentially go and do something magical and win a semi-final, or potentially win an All-Ireland?
I suppose it's a bit of both. I would probably say bonus territory before you mentioned all that. But even looking at the Cork Championship, there'll be a lot of teams gunning for the Bars next year. Like, for example, Nemo Rangers finishing the group, so they'll be definitely determined to right the wrongs from this year. Castlehaven, Ballincollig, who I thought were lucky in the Cork Championship, Clonakilty, who have a very good young team coming through, and run the Bars close. Actually, they only lost to them by a point. Like, Austin Stacks actually did worse than Clonakilty did against the man Ballincollig and Castlehaven. So it just shows you the quality of the Cork Football Championship. But yeah, Kilcoo are just, like, they are an absolute animal of a team, and they'll have vengeance on their minds as well. Like, arguably, they should have won that final against Corfin a few years ago. So They want to win that All-Ireland. And of course, Kilmacud Crokes, they want to win the All-Ireland. It's a long time since they won it. And Pádraig Pearse has done right off them either. I've seen them in the Connacht final against some superb players there, well-drilled. Pat Flanagan's a very good coach. And even look at Kilmacud without Paul Mannion, they made a NACE team that were many people's dark horses look very ordinary. And that was a very hard thing to do. So it should be interesting what happens in the club championship. But yeah, having said that, I think the Barrs need to take this opportunity with both hands, really, considering I think the Cork Championship's no gimme next year. Like, there'll be a lot of teams going for them. Even a few, like Clonmel Commercials, will be going back in Tipperary. A lot more Castletownbere, maybe the Noyer, or maybe in Kerry, if let's just say Dr. Crokes had a bad year, they might be gunning for success. Kieran O'Rahilly's might count themselves unlucky. David Ward was injured before the Kerry final, of course. So there'll be a lot of teams gunning for the Barrs next year, or gunning for that Munster title. So maybe it's a case of the Barrs need to take this opportunity with both hands, but they'll be looking forward to the challenge, definitely. Like, there'll be the majority of this team wouldn't have experienced an All-Ireland run like this. So go out and enjoy it. Go out and enjoy it, and play to your best against Kilcoo, and make the club proud, really. Like, Kilcoo are the favourites. There's no pressure whatsoever on you, and may the best team win, really. I think Kilcoo will have enough, but don't write off the Barrs, Pearses, or Kilmacud quite yet.
Yeah, and looking at Kilcoo, I mean, that was some performance against Derry Gonley Harps. I mean, the way they brushed Derry Gonley Harps aside, like, really, in that first half. And I know Derry Gonley certainly didn't have their best day by any stretch of the imagination, but from a Kilcoo point of view, like, the only kind of worry I had with Kilcoo going into 2022 was that it was 2 years ago that they reached that All-Ireland club final, and a lot of time has passed since then. Maybe they might not have the same appetite, or maybe, you know, players might be injured, or there might be changes in the team, but fair play, they've come back and they've looked even better, they've looked even stronger, and you know, they're a serious force at the minute. And when you look at some of the teams they've beaten already this year as well, in Down, and beaten Waddy Graham's Glen, and I mean, the performance against Derry Gonley was exceptional. So you'd have to probably look at them as not just the favourites for this game against Barrs, but also probably for the All-Ireland.
You have to, definitely. Like, as I said, they would have vengeance in their minds after that Corfin game, and to beat Waddy Graham's Glen the way they did as well, superb achievement. And even Scottstown in the quarterfinals, that was a brilliant win for them. So they faced some very good, or did they play Scottstown? Or it was Waddy Graham's Glen that played Scottstown, excuse me, and they played Ramor United, of course. Yeah, but still, to brush aside the likes of Ramor United, who were decent side on their day, Derry Gonley Harps, who beat Clonairen, and of course, and Dromore from Tyrone as well. So there were no pushovers, clearly. So, you know, they've beaten some good sides in front of them, and the Barrs will be a stepping stone for their All-Ireland. But as I said, there'll be no pressure on the Barrs. There'll be no pressure on Pádraig Pearse's either against Kilmacud. I think Kilmacud will go in as favourites in that game. But again, for the three sides under Kilcoo, there'll be no pressure. They'll go for the All-Ireland with no one expected them to win. And that'll be the beauty of it. There'll be a lot of pressure on Kilcoo. So maybe there's a bit of vulnerability there, but I would still back Kilcoo to win the All-Ireland. They look seasoned outfit. The Johnstons, the Brannigans look very good players. Of course, Paul Devlin there as well. Superb outfit. And to beat Derry Gonley the way they did, some superb team there. And yeah, I think Kilcoo will eventually win the All-Ireland, but I hope the Barrs will win it. I really hope they win it, because the players deserve so much. But yeah, I think the Barrs, Pádraig Pearse, will be happy enough with their club, their provincial title in it. Maybe Kilmacud would as well, but the difference is Kilcoo are going for more. They're going for this All-Ireland because they've won Ulster in the previous championship, so they were used to it before. I think they'll go all guns blazing for this All-Ireland. So I still back Kilcoo, but there's no pressure on the other sides at all.
Yeah, and touching on Pearses and Kilmacud Crokes briefly, like, I mean, big game for both those sides, and you've seen Pearses, I mean, manoeuvre their way through Connacht and maybe in some ways quite controversial fashion, obviously, in their win over Mountbelly and Moylock, but a very calm, assured and measured performance really against Knockmore to come through that game and really showed their steel and metal in the team. And as you said, with Kilmacud Crokes, who don't have Paul Mannion now for the rest of the club season because he's out injured, but like with a lot of teams you see, you know, down the years, you've seen even with Clare a little bit last year in the league when they didn't have Tony Kelly, like, and you've seen even with Ballier coming through Clare when they didn't have Tony Kelly. Like, sometimes when you don't have your best player, it allows other players to step up, and maybe you need to change the way you play a little bit, or change the system a little bit. And we've seen a lot of teams that have been able to make it work. So, I mean, that's going to be a fascinating game as well. Like, who would you be fancying to come through there?
Should be very fascinating. And you mentioned players stepping up for Kilmacud Crokes. Tom Fox was definitely one against Naas that stepped up. And there was a few others, Shane Cunningham as well throughout the campaign. So there is definitely players coming up through the ranks. And as for Padraig Pearses, I think they definitely deserve the kind of title. Billy Moynock. Look, I this argument made for another day, but briefly, the way they treated Jerome Henry at the end of that game was a disgrace. And rightly so, the players will be punished for that incident. No matter what the score is, you just don't punch the referee. I think it's absolutely ridiculous what they did at the end of that game. But fair play to Padraig Pearses. They got away from that drama. They won the kind of title, and fair play to them. They were exceptional, really, against Knockmore. It's going to be a tight game. I think Padraig Pearses might just have enough, because I think Kilmacud will miss Mannion. It's doing this one game is enough really against Naas, but to do it twice, and Padraig Pearses will have their main players, of course, in Hubert Darcy, the Dailies, and your man Carey, number 15 for them, was superb against Knockmore, superb performance. I'm not sure why he was not talked about in Roscommon circles before the Connacht final, but still he looks like a very, very good player coming through the ranks. So I think it'll be a Padraig Pearses Kilcoo final just about, but Kilmacud will give it a good rattle, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you as well. Actually, I have a funny feeling Padraig Pearses might just have a little bit more in the team there to find a way through. Like, they seem to be great at finding ways to win games, but at the same time, Kilmacud's experience already, having come through the Leinster Championship and having played some big games already, will make it quite interesting. You'd be back in Kilcoo to win the All-Ireland from here anyways? Yeah,
definitely. Like, the vengeance is there, the players are there, the manager's there, of course, and Mickey Moran. I think Padraig Pearses will make it tough for them, because Pat Flanagan is equally as an experienced manager as Mickey Moran. When you see him doing some good work with Offaly, Sligo and Westmeath. So, look, I think Kilcoo will win it, but I think it'll be closer than people think. I think Padraig Pearses will definitely put up to them. And Croke Park might suit Padraig Pearses because it's a wide pitch to play their expansive football, and they might put on a show in Croke Park, but it could go the other way as well. Kilcoo will just suck the life out of them, like they did against Derry Gonley Harps, and like they did against Ramor United as well. And it could be a whitewash, but I'm confident Padraig Pearses could put up a challenge, but at the same time, Kilcoo will win it, in my opinion.
Thank you very much for watching this clip of the very most recent podcast uploaded on the channel. If you do enjoy this content, please leave a like and subscribe so you're notified every time I do drop a new upload, and it does very much help the channel grow and help the channel reach more people. So I very much would appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the video. You can also follow the page on Instagram, and you can also follow on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify. You can follow on all social media platforms as well. So if you're not already followed over there, go over there and give the page a follow to help the channel grow as well. So I do very much appreciate anyone tuning in, and I'll see you all later.